One of my favorite parts of my sales process is my on the way phone call. So call on the way. And you might be thinking like, how the heck is that your favorite part, Colin? Like that sounds so lame. And it usually is pretty lame. Like, hey, just let you know I'm on my way. All right, cool. We'll see you in 26 minutes or whatever, right? And that sounds really, really lame. What doesn't sound lame is when I call them and say, hey, John, this is Colin with One Way Exteriors. I'm on my way to your house. GPS says I'll be there at 2:58, but I'm actually gonna stop at the gas station real quick. Just grab myself a coffee. Can I get you a Coke, a Pepsi, a coffee, beef jerky, anything like that while I'm there? And it's like radio silence. You're like, what? So if you watched my prior videos about my immediate call once it's put on my schedule and the morning of call, I talk about stopping the building of the resistance wall. And what this does, if there's any wall built at all, they just kick it right down because they're like, holy cow, this dude's coming to try and take money from me, but he's offering to get me a coffee or a pop or whatever. And I just did this 2 days ago, and this was the reaction. The guy's name was Rich. I was like, hey, Rich, it's Colin with One Way Exteriors. Sorry, man, I'm running a little bit late. My last appointment went over, but I gotta stop and hit the head at the bathroom, and I'm gonna grab myself a coffee. Can I get you anything while I'm there? And he's like, oh yeah, man, a roast beef sandwich, a 6-pack of Diet Coke. And my head, instead of like freaking out like, oh crap, I mean, that's too much money or whatever, like, no, my head went to like, crap, where can I get a roast beef sandwich? I passed Arby's like 10 minutes ago. I'm not gonna turn around and be even later. And he started laughing. He's like, oh, I'm just messing with you, man. Like, nah, you're good. I was like, no, seriously, I'll get you a Diet Coke. Like, you know what? I've been working in the yard. That sounds great, Colin. Cool, awesome. I'll get you a Diet Coke. I'll see you. GPS says like 26 minutes, but with the stop, probably like 30 minutes. Okay, sounds good, man. We'll see you then. Boom. It was amazing. Now, only like 1 out of 15 or 20 actually take you up on that offer. Most just say, no, thank you, I'm good. Because they're at their home, they have everything they need. But every now and then somebody will take me up on the jerky offer or whatever. But what this does is if they're building that resistance wall in preparation for you showing up, they knock it down. There might still be a couple bricks or whatever, but you can step over that really, really easy and start building a relationship with them. Now, the other benefit to this, I showed up to Rich's, and it was a goofy situation, but he thought he had gotten a quote from us. It ended up being from another company, and it was for $14,000 for this roof. And so I got there, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hop up there, take some measurements and whatnot, and verify numbers, but do you have that old estimate still? Because I didn't have one in my system. Like, we had his name, we saw that we had went there, but nobody had ever built the estimate before. So, and I didn't have any measurements or anything to go off of. And he's like, yeah, I'll grab it inside. And he comes out and he's like, hey, I got that number. I said, how much is it? And he yells it up to me. It's 14 and change. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna finish, verifying measurements and whatnot up here, and I'll work it up and see what we can do, man. And his phone call in literally was like, if this price is still good, I'm ready to go. So I'm like, crap. So I start working it up as 18.4. So he walks up to the back of my car, and I broke all of my sales protocols, all right? So disregard this. This was like, I thought I was showing up to authorize an agreement, and that was it. But I ended up having to sell. So what happens is he walks up to my car, he goes, so, can we do it? And I was like, Rich, I don't know where that 14 number came from, but I'm coming in at 18.4. He goes, well, that's not gonna work. Turns and starts walking away. I go, whoa, hold up. You can't just turn around and walk away from me. I bought you a Diet Coke, man. And he's like, oh, you got me, you son of a gun. All right, come on, you gotta talk to my wife. She's the one in charge anyways. Okay, cool. So now I get to talk to the wife. And I get in and I end up selling the job, right? It all went smooth and easy, but I threw that Diet Coke in his face as fast as I possibly could. Like, no, I bought you that. You're gonna talk to me. You're not gonna just turn around and walk away. And he loved it, right? So the call on the way, all right? So first, offer, all right? We gotta offer to get them something. 2, actually get it, all right? You can't offer it and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I was running late and I just decided not to stop at the gas station. Like, you look like a freaking fool if you do that, all right? And then 3rd, you gotta use it, all right? Bring it up multiple times throughout your sales rep. That's just something I like to do. I'm not here just to do your roof or do your gutters or do your windows and then never talk to you again. I'm here to build a relationship with you. That's why I called an offer to get you something at the gas station too, right? I want to start building that relationship before I showed up. It's also why I called this morning. It's also why I called 2 weeks ago when you scheduled the appointment. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're just like, and no, I'm no longer a sales rep because I stopped the resistance wall. And that, my friends, is the game. I've stopped the resistance wall before I've done any client discovery, before I've taken any measurements, before I've done any inspections, before I've done any pricing, anything. I've stopped the resistance wall, and I now have their trust. And we all know as sales reps, that is the number one thing you need in order to get that paper or get that paper inked, all right? That's it. We just need to build their trust. In doing this, offering to get them something from the gas station is an absolute game changer. You don't want to skip this step. I caught myself skipping this, and it was literally just last Friday when I was like, oh, I'm meeting so much resistance when I show up. Usually I show up and people are like, hey, Colin, how you doing? They act like they've known me for forever, and I've not been getting that. What am I missing? And I'm going through all of my 16 steps, and I was like, oh, 3. I have not been calling on the way and offering to get them something at the gas station. That's it. And I literally changed that on Friday, and I went 2 for 2, and I sold $50,000 in roofs, all right? It works, right? If you go through all 16 of these steps that I follow, it's a game changer. It will radically shift the way that you sell in your business and the way that the customers refer you, all right? Think about that. If I show up with a Diet Coke or Mountain Dew or whatever it is you drink, right, you're gonna remember this experience, and that is the game. The game is gain their trust and give them an experience that they won't forget. Something I hear all the time is, yeah, I don't remember who did my gutters. I don't remember who did my roof. I never want to be that company. I want to be remembered forever. I want them to have an experience that is unforgettable working with my company. And if you do that, you'll get referrals time and time and time again. All right, so get out there and win bigly so that you guys can give bigly.